Sit more on the diagonal.
Yeah.
And then back up a little.
Yeah, and then Dicey can kind of pull in here.
And he's got to get a chair. And
yeah.
Dicey, get me my Arnold Parham where I don't know where it ran off to.
Alright, so this is Smash Talk presented by E2C. We're getting our panel finalized here. Tonight we have on my left, we have Akiro joining us. Kal-El.
Fresh off his win.
Akiro fresh off 2 wins actually.
2 wins.
He did just win, and he just won singles and Expose U.
Expose U, yes.
He's had a really good tournament showing lately. And joining us in a moment that are going to be on my right, we have Lord Sturm here, and Dicey should be joining us momentarily. All right. So first off, what I'd like to talk about is this podcast. This is going to become a weekly thing. We're going to do it every night after Stadium. The goal is to do it by 9 o'clock. If the tournament runs a little late because lots of runbacks, lots of game 3s, game 5s.
Lots of salt.
Lots of salt from this man right here. Then we're going to have it as early as possible so you guys can tune in for some grand finals and then we'll jump right into the podcast. But it's going to be something that's live streamed every weekend, I guess, at 9 p.m. I myself am going to be a consistent member. I'll be helping facilitate the show. We're going to try to have these guys on as much as possible, as well as any top players that are in the area with a lot of knowledge that would like to speak about some of this stuff that's going on in the Smash 4 meta and the Smash 4 environment. We here all feel that content for Smash 4 is a little low, and we think that starting this podcast could be a really great way to kind of expand that. So if there's any players who ever check this out and they'd like to come on, by all means, contact Events to Compete, contact myself, contact any member that you know works with Events to Compete, and we can definitely make something work. But we're going to be talking today. First, we're going to recap a little bit about Expose U. And I know Akiro and Lord Sturm have some comments to make about that. Talk about some of the players they found.
I have comments about how bad I am. I'm pretty bad, guys. Expose U is a pretty great tournament, though, all salt aside.
What was the turnout?
Turnout was a little low comparatively to what we would expect from a monthly.
A lot of players didn't show up that were expected to show up. Like players like Xian, Rumashi, Ronin, a bunch of other players too. They just didn't show up.
And it's my understanding that they actually were registered, but they just didn't make it, right? Okay.
They were registered, but registration for part of the reason why the numbers were so low is because registration was free and you pay at the door. What we're doing for E2C 12 is different, where we pay online first.
Yeah.
So what were the numbers at it?
I think the totals was 30 for singles, 8 teams, right? Is that something like that?
Wow, that is very low for a monthly.
Oh. Hey, foodie.
Alright, ladies and gentlemen, our last member of the panel for tonight is joining us. This is Dicey. He
has by his sidekick, bacon mac and cheese. No, bacon fries.
No, yeah.
Bacon what?
Chili cheese fries with bacon.
I'd like to ask you a question really quickly, Akiro. You did take that title on that bracket. The competition level, where was it? If you had a scale from 1 to 10, where would you put the competition level in terms of the whole cast that you saw?
Compared to my other tournaments, I'd say about an 8.
About an 8?
I like to say that. Because they have...
On what kind of scale is that?
They're 1 to 10.
There were like players like JT Wild that I've never played before. And he actually gave me a good run for my running. It was 2-0, and I won 2-0. But they were really close games. Like, JT Wild has a solid Mario. I'll even go on the record to say it's even more solid than Bo X7.
Ooh, you hear that? Bo X7, you've been called out.
Shots.
To be fair, called out, but he is trying to be objective here.
Yeah.
He cheats on his Mario.
Yeah, but Bo has a Mario, he has a Rob, he has a Peach, and a Wario. So he's got all these characters that he's very legit with, whereas JT Wild just has Mario.
Would it be insane to say that you might think Bo X7's is a little, or Bo X Scotty is what it is now, or Bo Scotty. Bo Scotty, for all those of you who watch, he is changing it to Bo Scotty.
Shots fired in the chat.
But would you say that you know Bo's a lot better, and so that might have influenced how you feel about his, or was it the Mario just seemed a lot more solid in a lot of ways?
It might be just with the matchup too. Okay. Like JT Wild might be more solid with the Sheik matchup with Mario, but their playstyle is definitely like are a lot different. Because I can beat both Scotty's Mario pretty solidly from time to time. But this is my first time playing JT Wild, and they were close games. So I don't know. But I feel like in the Sheik matchup, JT Wild has the better Mario.
Okay, good. For
That's
viewers,
interesting.
for viewers to know to pay attention to Bo X7s, but also JT Wild's Marios if you're looking for Mario information.
They're Chicago regulars. I'm sure JT is actually at Galloping Ghost right now, getting top 3.
Yeah.
That's his regular haunt, and that's one of the interesting things about.
His regular haunt.
Stop it.
Galloping Ghost.
Stop it.
Ooh, we're seeing some
I thought we
commentary
had
bias
no
here.
puns allowed on this podcast.
You started it.
Damn it. So EXP was overall a great tournament.
Yeah, what I wanted to say is, Expose U is the start of a bunch of tournaments where we're going to see the Galloping Ghost and the Stadium Sports Club crowd mingle. And we're going to see more how the Chicago rankings in general actually fare between the two. Because we see a lot of players from Galloping Ghost put up numbers. We see
Like Knight.
Knight, we
Knight,
see
the Rosalina player.
Gamerhead,
Ness
always
player.
getting top 3 at Galloping Ghost. But a lot of these players, they're more in that Brookfield-ish area, so it's more convenient to go over there. Whereas us from the more northern side, we come here. And we're going to start to see more of that Chicago scene mix, and that's going to be even more exciting at E2C 12.
Definitely. So that's something I would like to talk about too momentarily from all these guys. So we are putting on a tournament in 6 days called E2C 12. It's going to be a monthly, and it should be a pretty big tournament. And I wanted to get your guys' opinions on who you think some players to kind of keep an eye on for, and like who do you think could be a heavy hitter? Any possible surprises? And like who do you think might kind of come out and show up the tournament a little bit?
Can we start with me?
Yeah, we'll go around the table. So let's get Lord Sturm's opinion on
The Cinderella story called Lord Sturm.
All right, so Lord Sturm is playing money on Lord Sturm.
So guys, if you really want, and for the record, let's take that seriously for a second. He is going to be Yoshi. He feels really confident with his Yoshi abilities. Don't look for his Bowser for information on how to play a character. Look to his Yoshi. And I say that with no offense. I say his Yoshi's very solid. If you want info on how to use Yoshi, kind of different tendencies and techniques to use in different matchups, follow Lord Sturm. He has a very solid Yoshi there.
He's still free. Freest Yoshi in the Midwest.
Dicey, any players you're kind of looking for? Nothing?
No. I'm commentating. I'm a commentator. I don't even play this game. I don't.
Thank you for your knowledge.
All right.
Let's think about it.
I'm still.
All right. MJG, obviously. He's registered.
I'm still a legend, though. Don't forget that. Keep an eye out for me anyway.
Like I said, there is MJG, which we're all expecting. He played so Villager, Mario, and Diddy Kong. From what I've seen in the last tournament at Great Revival, there's obviously JJ Rockets, myself, Green Beast or Free Beast.
And can you try to give us with those names? Can you give us the characters they play as well?
Right. Well, JJ Rockets, Diddy Kong, myself, Sheik, Free Beast, Olimar. He has been working on Luigi, but I don't know if he's comfortable enough to bring it out in tournament.
Luigi looked good though.
In doubles, yeah. In doubles, it looked really good. I was very impressed, but it's doubles.
Yeah.
Bo Scotty, Rob is really solid. Like he thinks he beat me in winners semis. He 2-0'd me. Yeah, that's the first time he ever took a set on me in tournament. And
That was an upset.
yeah. And I was very proud of him.
So Rob players, pay attention to Bo Scotty at E2C 12 if you tune in.
And then we got the run back at losers finals, and he had
tilted
some
really hard.
Right. He SD'd, I believe, on game 1, and just gave the game to me. Just quit out. Game 2 was a solid game. It was fairly close. Game 3, he.
New information, ladies and gentlemen. Sorry to interrupt Akiro here, but JJ on the stream, if you guys aren't paying attention, he is saying, it is rumored that
we're gonna have Boss coming out to E2C 12.
Boss, you saw him
Arguably the best Luigi player in the nation.
in the world. He was.
We've got some legit Luigi.
He had a great performance at Apex, and so I
No
mean,
region's better than US. Let's be real.
I mean, Akiro, you actually have fought against Boss. What do you think?
Well, I'm very looking forward to it if I end up facing him in bracket. I know it's a wrong mindset to go into, but in the Ohio tournament, I was just happy to get third.
Right.
I didn't expect to beat Boss, so I was like screwing around with him a little bit, but I know to take it more seriously now.
What do you think? What do you think the chance of you beating Boss is?
Oh, don't make it win.
No, it's all right.
Well, I do have more experience now in the Luigi matchup, so we'll find out if we
That's
ever.
right.
If the rumor is true that he
You hear that, Boss?
All right.
But back to the game.
We don't comment on rumors and speculation, but we exclusively comment on rumors and speculation.
Like back to what I was talking about, Bo. Like game 3, he just kind of tilted. Just kind of quit the match out. And, it's kind of hard to face Bo when he gets upset like that because
Do you see his game really starts to go downhill?
Yeah, I think it might have been his set against JJ that might have went on to the set towards me. That
Did he play JJ and then have to wait for you to get to him?
Yeah, he played JJ in winners finals.
So he had to wait a while, right? That actually affects me. I don't know if you noticed that when I played you, Dicey. Like if I make it far in winners and then lose, I'm not. It's not John. It's not John, but it's real.
It's hard to tell.
It's not
This much man. It's intimidating.
when you make it far in winners and then you have to wait in losers. That can affect someone mentally. Definitely.
That is true.
Cool him off.
So yeah, that's something I'd like to kind of bring up as a point. It's a huge deal when you go into a tournament and you especially for Bo, taking a game off Akiro, that's a big deal. Taking a set off Akiro, that's a bigger deal. And then so he's coming off this great vote of confidence, and then to go up against JJ, and I from what I heard, it was a pretty rough game.
He took a first game off JJ.
Okay, so he played 3-1 against JJ, and then to have to wait a while, it's very easy to go into a game against someone you just beat with overconfidence, and it's also very easy to go into a game after losing to a really good player, underselling yourself. So you really kind of have to have that right mentality to just kind of shake off whatever it is and just think about the game you're in and not the games you just played or the games you're going to have to play.
Yeah.
If you go into a bracket and you look at if I beat these 3 people, I have to face Akiro or I have to
you're
face...
thinking too far ahead at that point.
Yeah, you don't even think about the game that you're going to play next. You really should only concentrate on the game you're going to play. Think about your matchup and think about what you have to do in that game to kind of win it.
And to be honest, I think that's very underutilized when it comes to Smash tournaments. Is they start to look ahead and they could go watch the game of their next opponent as it goes right before them, and they'll learn so much. You can learn the techniques, little habits that they have, but people underutilize it. They don't go watch their competition and gain knowledge from that.
Yeah, can we talk about how grand finals no one was watching?
Oh yeah,
everyone was busy playing friendlies.
So many friendlies were going on.
I was hyping up on stream. I was running out of the commentary trying to get people to watch grand finals, but people were still playing.
That was
at Expose You. Everyone was playing friendlies instead of watching grands.
That broke my heart, dude.
That's all right. Stream.
Let's do a vote.
When Bo Scotty was playing JJ, me and Green were behind Bo Scotty. We wanted the team to do well. I guess it's just people are tired of seeing me and JJ always on top. But
shout out to JJ.
If it were anyone else, I would stay and watch grand finals. But if it were Green Beast, if it were Bo Scotty, if it were JT Wild, if those players were in grand finals, I would watch them. I wouldn't go around and play friendlies. I don't know. It just kind of bugged me that no one was. It was just me and JJ, basically.
It was a friend.
We were in the soundproof booth.
And so one thing to really kind of keep in mind with that, and I think it's a different mentality for top players versus, I guess, kind of mid-level to high-level players, is going to watch grand finals, especially at a monthly. At a weekly, it's different. At a weekly, you're kind of trying to get as many games in as you possibly can. I mean, still want to check out grand finals and things like that, but especially at a monthly where all these players are traveling, something that could be huge is just to improve your game is go watch grand finals and see what you're doing differently than these players.
Yeah, this is one thing I'd like to do. Well, I don't know if it's ever really possible, but having a viewing room maybe for it, because I mean, well, Dicey and I are BSing a lot on commentary sometimes, but sometimes we have insights that newer players could they could actually use to improve their game.
Well, like in E2C 11, that wasn't the case either, because all the setups were taken and everyone was watching Grand Finals.
E2C was hype.
Granted, like most of the people left, but there were still people watching Grand Finals.
Yeah, almost everybody that remained at the venue was hyped about the
They
Grand
were hyped
Finals.
We had Iowa being loud. We had Illinois being counter loud.
Oh, Iowa.
Iowa, Mixwell. Shoutouts to Mix. I don't know if he's actually here.
The god.
Mixwell, the legend.
Mixwell, Cody Perko's lieutenant in chief. Yeah, well, JJ is saying in chat that when top 2 is expected, that happens. People don't want to watch.
Yeah,
but
if
JJ
you
and
wanna
Akiro
try
is a
and-
matchup that is like the story of Chicagoland Smash 4 right now.
But if you want to try to improve your game, you've got to watch Grand Finals. Look at our habits, see what we're doing right, what we're doing wrong. That's stuff you got to see. Back in the Brawl days, that's what I used to do. I used to always watch Grand Finals to improve my game. I wouldn't go around and play friendlies because I'm salty that I lost, but not to say that the players were salty that they lost.
I was
salty.
Lord Stern was salty, ladies and gentlemen. All right, and then one thing that I actually think I've seen a few tournaments run, and I've actually been kind of interested in possibly implementing it in the future for some monthlies, and I don't know how everyone feels about it, but the commentary, I think it's interesting when there's a PA system set up so that the commentators actually get broadcasted to the venue as well.
Yeah, that's more what I was thinking. Like, it's tricky. You don't want to be like giving people tips.
Yeah, obviously, and I think it's hard to do that.
Oh my
But
god.
something that could be, I think it adds an interaction between the crowd and the commentators that's not there right now. And I think that could be something that could be really interesting to kind of take
was that
advantage
the case at RTGN?
of. They did it at,
No,
No.
they didn't have it playing. No.
Okay.
I know at
So,
some VG bootcamp tournaments they did it, and I think overall it received really positive feedback.
there's some, alright, the bathroom in there?
That's
Someone's destroyed that bathroom.
All right.
There's
Let's try to
doo-doo
stay
everywhere.
focused on Smash.
It's on the toilet seat. How do you get it
All
on the
right,
toilet seat?
You're not driving home with me.
He might be a
Right.
few drinks in, ladies and gentlemen. He doesn't even drink.
How do you get
that's-
doo-doo
that's
on the
kinda-
toilet seat? Poop. Like poop.
Can we? Okay.
Literal poop.
We've been jumping around a little bit, but I kind of want to talk about the games
on the
in the
ground.
grand finals that expose you. JJ, shout out to JJ. He's still in the chat.
Shout out. Love that guy. Birds up.
He said on Facebook that he wasn't terribly fond with how he played. How did you think JJ played in that grand final set?
Especially if you compare it to E2C 11, where you two faced off in the grand finals.
Well, I feel like I've improved a lot since E2C, especially going to Apex, playing all these high-level players, giving me tips and everything. And I actually been, I never go in Smash boards for anything, like ever.
Right.
I just improve my game on my own, and I'm like, okay, I want to improve, so might as well give it a shot. I started talking to these shit players. They gave me some helpful tips here and there, and I implemented them on JJ, and it worked out great. Shotgun.
I think it was 3-1, 2-3-1. So what was the score?
It was 3-1 and 3-2.
3-1, 3-2. Okay. But that was the only time you guys played that whole tournament.
Yeah, that was on the upset that Bo Scotty got against me,
Yeah. All right. Well, good stuff.
Bo is definitely a player that to keep an eye on, kind of at E2C 12. He's been improving a lot lately,
Yeah.
and especially shown taking a set off the Kuro. So I think he's going to be definitely one that people are going to want to kind of keep an eye on and check out for some high-level play.
He can get distracted.
Oh, definitely.
Sometimes singles isn't really his priority. That's not a bad comment on Bo or anything. That's just the truth. He focuses on doubles with green over singles, and then I think his priority over that even is his art boost, which Bo's art's pretty awesome. You guys should check it out. Look him up on Facebook. He'll sell you some pins. He's gonna have a bunch available. I'm not paid to do this shill. I'm just doing it because I love Bo. But that's just to say that there are things in his life that take priority over Smash. So there is always that little side note to his play.
Understandable. All right, so one topic that we kind of wanted to cover here, moving into a monthly as big as E2C12, is we're going to kind of talk a little bit about character matchups and like some of the matchups you'd expect to see and kind of who we think wins those matchups. So, I mean, obviously there's going to be a lot of opinion here, but I think it's kind of just an interesting discussion to have. Because a lot of players, I mean, there's a lot of information spread around.
Oh, yeah, for
Hohen's
sure.
hanging out in the back, guys. He's going to be...
He'll be in
Hohen will be hanging out with us every once in a while on the panel. We'll be rotating out some players and things like that. We'll have new voices each time, new faces.
My voice has been here for 17 years.
One thing that's interesting about these matchups is we do have a generally pretty varied top 10 in Chicago.
Yeah, definitely.
All sorts of different characters from all over the tier list. I mean, top 3 is very consistent, but the top 10 is incredibly varied, and
Can
everything.
we talk about that top 10? Like the top 5 are pretty solid. I believe it's JJ and myself, Green Beast, Bo Scotty, and Chompy. Like
Choppy is predisposed right now.
Yes. Chompy gave up Smash for Lent, so he's not going to be around for a little while.
Has it some developing ghosts today.
Yep.
Oh,
That's the rumor?
That's the rumor has it. But go ahead, Akira.
Regardless of that, like he has been known to place always on top 5.
Right.
Almost
Even in
all the time.
Ohio, right?
Yeah, even in Ohio.
You got 5th and just 11.
Right. So those top 5 are obviously solid. Anything below that can be debated. Like
Highly debated.
they have Shell as number 6, where
He doesn't have results yet, though.
And we've seen him one.
He has more sets over. I have only 1 set over him when I reset bracket in Mad River. So he's not totally undefeated like Freebeast is saying. I have taken a set off him. He has a winning record over me, but he has a losing record over the other players like Green Beast and Bo Scotty.
Which is one of those things that Chompy was trying to take into account, how often they're at tournaments and how often they compete with these higher level players.
Right, he's not as active now. He's a great player, don't get me wrong, but
The inactivity for
he doesn't
me,
have
though,
the major records that we're trying to look for.
Yeah, the inactivity for me would make him not be 6th. He could be like 10th right now. These power rankings are going to change after E2C 12, first of all. This is all just kind of
oh, definitely, yeah.
letting it out there.
And I think it was relatively an opinion-based thing that I think Chompy put out, and that he just kind of like took results in from random tournaments.
It was a little crowdsourced.
Yeah, a little bit, yeah. But I'd go ahead and say that, I mean, that's something interesting to keep in mind too, is when you look at the top 5 that relatively everyone here in Chicago agrees upon for the Chicagoland area, we have a Sheik player, we have a Pit player through Chompy, obviously Akira the Sheik player, we have an Olimar player with Green Beast, we have
Mario player.
a Mario, Peach, Rob player,
sorts of characters.
yeah, a guy playing all sorts of characters with Bo Scotty.
You gotta get it, man.
And who am I missing here? Oh, JJ Rockets and a Diddy Kong.
The young Diddy.
So obviously, I mean, the character variety, yeah, the character variety here in Chicago is something really extreme that I think is kind of sort of unique to this area. I mean, every tournament I've seen different mains, characters that I've never fought against.
Real talk. JJ, I know you're in the chat. Let's talk about Iowa's top 4. JJ Rockets, Diddy Kong, MJG, Villager, yeah, Mario, yeah, Diddy Kong. I don't even remember who number 3 was. Do you remember who number 3 was? He didn't show up at Great Revival, so I don't even
but I
know.
imagine I could guess.
B-Pal's number 4th, Diddy Kong.
Oh, right.
Shots.
Gotta get on that, man.
Bias.
Gotta get on that.
All right.
That's what I'm saying.
So we've done some good player spotlight. We did some pretty interesting E2C kind of like hype up for the tournament.
Oh,
on
let's
Saturday.
hype that up a little more. Let's hype that one up a little more. Everybody, E2C 12 in 6 days. In 6 days, gourmet meal. Expect a gourmet meal free created and made by yours truly, Sage, aka Mike.
Not you. We're doing some good stuff.
Not me. Yeah, you're right. Yours truly. No. And we expect to have probably around 140 Smash 4 singles players. That's just Smash 4 singles. Obviously, very good commentators that will be there all day, 13 hours. They'll be with you all day. Lord Sturm and Dicey.
Yeah, buddy.
I missed Cinny Boo.
That
Cinny
is
Boo
like
wasn't
keeping
at
the
Great
shit.
Revival, but that's a a Sheik and Shulk player.
Sheik and Shulk. Does he ever win with Shulk, or is he just a Sheik player?
Is like Shulk for pools and then
Is Shulk for pools?
It's like Akiro's Lucina.
Okay, yeah, okay. But we do expect a great turnout. Top Cut's going to be loaded with great sense of food and great energy of nerds, and they do have
nerds.
They have plenty of good comics next door, right where we're going to be, and great venue for this event.
Okay, I want to do something though before we close the E2C 12 talk. Let's all go down the line and predict our top 8. You guys want to do that? Top three? Top three?
Top 3 is
Let's
probably.
do top 3.
Okay.
Boss.
Let's do top 4.
Somewhere in top 4.
Top 4. Okay, let's go. I'm gonna go last. Or how do you want to do this? You know what? I'll go first because it was my idea.
Okay.
I'll go first. I'm wondering if I should go JJ first. I'm gonna go Boss JJ.
Did I see a scrunchy face after you said JJ? JJ! Shots fired!
I'm gonna go Boss over JJ because I think Boss is just gonna kind of take the region by storm. I don't know if we've seen a Luigi of that caliber yet.
This man's a terrorist.
Boss JJ, Akiro, and I'm gonna go.
But then he did. I don't think he played Boss at Ohio.
He didn't?
JJ didn't, though.
He did not play Boss.
Wait,
in
did
Ohio.
he? He did.
That'll be interesting.
I don't know
Did
if
he? No, not did he. Yeah, he was Diddy.
I'm gonna go, but I am gonna go Akira over MJG, and that is the matchup I want to see. That is
coming?
yeah,
MJG's gonna be there.
that is the matchup that we missed at Great Revival because Akira johned out.
they're not John.
All right, no, I'm not gonna put in Boss.
So say
Boss,
those
okay.
one more time real quick.
So I'm gonna go. We're scrubbing Boss because Boss is not confirmed. So it's JJ, then Akira over MJG. I'm gonna stick with that. I'm gonna go with my boy Free Beast for 4th.
Freebies for 4th. Wow. Okay.
All right.
Jesse, what's your? Oh, he's
passing.
I'm not even human. I don't speak English.
So I'm gonna mix it up a little bit.
Uh-oh.
I'm gonna take MJG in first. I think there's not a lot of like really high end villagers outside of I guess Dicey, but we don't see him compete all that often.
We had well, first of all,
High-end villager.
Go ahead.
And obviously in singles,
he's not a
Dicey
villager
plays
in
more. Yeah, Dicey plays
I
brawler.
like villager in singles.
we have Skilliger from Nebraska. I actually think he'll get about 9th.
Irrelevant.
Yeah, but I don't think anyone is at MJG's level with Villager, and I think it's gonna kind of surprise people. This is again not including Boss. I'm gonna go Akiro second. I think he's got the edge on JJ Rockets right now, and being only a week off of.
He's hearing you.
JJ, you okay, friend?
And then I'm gonna go.
What
I'm gonna go
happened, dude?
JJ Rockets, and then I'm gonna go Green Beast.
Green Beast for 4th. I like it.
I do love the camaraderie with this Chi-Town group in terms of going for Green Beast and Akiro. I do think Akiro will be up there. I wish Green Beast will be, but I don't think that's going to be the case. He really struggles under pressure, in my opinion, and I think he does. In my opinion, I think he starts to struggle. One loss will ruin the rest of his night. I want to see how. I want to see.
Are you gonna actually come to a list at some point?
Yeah, a list. I'll go ahead and give you the list. Number 1 will undoubtedly be Akiro. He's sitting right next to me. I'm not saying it to fluff him up, but I just feel like his game has improved. I've seen few people come close to really beating him and outplaying him. JJ, I saw last E2C. I saw him get the edge on Akiro towards the end, but overall I didn't think the difference between their skill levels was very much, and from what I've seen of Akira and what I've heard about his thoughts on how he's improved and how he beat JJ just recently, I think he will have on the edge on JJ. I do not think it's going to be Akira and JJ in the finals though. I think it's going to be Akira and MJG. I do. I really do. He is going to. I think it's going to be highly disappointing, but I think that Villager's going to have the edge on JJ. And so it's going to be Akiro, MJG,
Actually,
JJ.
Did you see that set from Great Revival, MJG versus JJ?
I did not.
His Villager actually went down 0-2, and he came out with his Diddy Kong and clean sweeped him 3-0.
Rip.
Really?
Yeah, in the losers finals.
No, he went Mario game 1.
Oh, he went Mario Game 1, and then it was 3-1?
He went Diddy Kong. After that, he went Diddy Kong.
Oh, you know what that was then? That was
That was the winners.
winners finals. He lost with Villager.
Oh, okay.
No, winners semis. Winners semis.
I actually made a mistake.
Yeah. Okay. JJ's.
No, I didn't make a mistake. That's exactly what I'm thinking. And then in fourth place, I think JT Wild. I think that it surprised a lot of people last time, and his abilities.
For third or fourth?
Fourth.
Interesting choice.
I think JT Wild is very impressive with Mario, and you're gonna see it. You're gonna see it.
The engineer of the Ganon Canyon.
That's true. Alright, my top 4, but it's kind of hard to say because of course I want to win and I hope to win, but
And you want to stay positive about your abilities. Too.
right.
No one blames you for if you claim yourself first. I think that's the right mentality
Top
to have.
4,
Oh, yeah. Easy.
I would say Grand Finals is gonna be me and JJ.
Oh.
Probably.
And the rivalry continues to accrue.
I hope so.
Third place will be. Actually, no. I don't know. It's kind of hard to decide because Green Beast, he's definitely up there. If anything, he'd probably go over JJ because the matches they had at Expose U were really close. Green Beast 2-stocked JJ Rockets in the first game.
Oh wow.
Very solidly. In game 2, he took the stock off JJ at like less than 30%, so he had a really great lead, but ended up whiffing it. I don't know. He ended up losing that game, and then I guess the mentality went towards game 3, and it just.
That's the tilting you were talking about.
Yeah,
Right.
I mean, maybe he got overconfident as he kind of like saw himself take game 1 and go up so quickly game 2. And then after his overconfidence got shattered, it just kind of fell apart for him.
What is the Olimar Diddy matchup like usually?
It's very tricky
Yeah.
for Almar. Very tricky.
Generally, I know a lot of people consider it in Olimar's favor.
After Apex, you mean?
I know a lot of people consider Olimar like an okay counter to Diddy. Like I would.
But then you gotta see how Zero did against the Buzz.
Yeah, I think, in my opinion, I think it's 45-55 in Olimar's favor. Like, Diddy Kong has the disadvantage, but I think it's so slight. I mean, you could even call it, if we wanted to get super specific, you could call it like 51-49. Like, it's so minorly in Olimar's advantage that I think it's just...
Almar just needs to wall so hard.
Yeah,
And if you drop that wall for a minute, you're going to take 30%.
for sure.
basically.
And I think it's you have to be a perfect player to play that matchup properly. But again, like when you talk about matchups, you assume perfect play.
Well, let's talk about Greens versus Diddy. He played 4 Diddies in a row at
EXP?
Great
Great
Revival. Beat most of them. I mean, I think he dropped to JJ, and then he played.
He
Beat
lost
Pal.
to JJ Rockets and lost to MJG's Diddy.
He lost to JJ. He beat B-Pow. He beat I can't remember the name of the third Diddy. I don't know where he
It was
is.
some random Diddy.
He was really good though.
But he was good.
He beat Ramen King. I believe.
Okay.
So.
But he had a lot of Diddies.
All right,
It
so
was ridiculous.
as we talk about characters, so considering some of our top picks for E2C 12, we have a Sheik player in the top for some of us. We have a Mario player, a Luigi player if Boss shows up. Obviously, a lot of us probably would have placed Boss.
Luigi player if Green decides his Luigi's.
Yeah,
his
or
shape.
with Green. So an Olimar and Diddy Kong with JJ Rockets.
You know, I'm surprised no one picked Shell. Or we don't have Green here. If Green were on this panel, he'd pick Shell
he goes
first.
Shell.
He'd pick Shell first.
Well,
That's the way he is.
Like,
Let's.
he's one of those hidden horses that we were going to talk about. Like,
Yeah, he's a
Shell,
good boss.
Shell, like I said, he has a winning record over me, so, who knows. Like, but I didn't have as much experience with Luigi as I do now. So.
Yeah.
For sure.
I don't know, we'll find out. Shell is definitely someone to look out for, though. He's nothing to sleep on.
So with some of those top characters or players that we talked about and who they're playing, let's.
JJ is talking about the other Diddy that Green played was Eamon, I think is how you say it. He's
Eamon.
arguably Minnesota's best player.
Huh.
So,
So Green Beast has a lot of experience with the Diddy matchup, and I'm willing to. That's gonna play in Green Beast's favor for sure, because I'm willing to bet that a lot of Diddies don't have a ton of Olimar experience. I mean, how many Olimar players are there really?
It's really just Green Bean.
And like
In the Midwest,
DeBuzz's
it's only
backup,
Green.
right? Yeah, in the Midwest it's only Green.
yeah.
So, but anyways, looking at the characters that we kind of have available as for our top picks, I kind of like to talk about some of the matchups and maybe how that's going to affect some of the top play. So let's talk about. So your first pick, you took JJ Rockets, right, for first?
Did I?
I think you.
I think I went JJ, or Akiro,
MJG,
and Green. Right?
Yeah, I think that was yours. So let's talk about obviously Diddy. Let's talk about him first.
Are you talking about Diddy versus Sheik?
We're going to talk about Diddy versus some of the top characters that each player plays.
All right.
Like a little brief tidbit on each one. I'd like to keep it kind of short on each one, but still relatively informative.
I want to call Diddy Sheik 50-50.
Honestly, it's no more than 55-45 either way. It really comes down to the kill setup. Obviously, Diddy has an easier time getting kill setups, but Sheik has an easier time racking up damage. That'll come down a lot to the stages,
Definitely.
especially at the level that JJ, MJG, Akira, all of them play at. I want to call it very even.
So Diddy, Sheik, Akira, do you have any comments on that?
I'd say it's even.
Even? I would pretty much agree with that. I mean, I think Sheik gets a lot of reward off hit on Diddy Kong, obviously.
If you see the VODs of Expose You, like, we like share 2 stocks of each other like almost every game. First game I 2-stocked him. Second game he beat me. It was a close match. Third game, no, we were switching 2 stocks back and forth. Like, there was a game where I think it was the game 1 in the set 2 where I just kind of like killed myself. It's like, okay, you know, JJ outplayed me here, so I'm just gonna SD in the match so I can just get into game 2 quick. Because I wasn't.
We actually noted that. I don't know if you caught that commentary.
I did notice that. Like, I wasn't tilted at all. I was just like, oh god, he's at 60, I'm at 100. You know, just one small mistake and I'm dead. So like, you know, I'm just gonna reset this game. You know, so I just
Kind of cleared it out of your mind.
like JJ outplayed me this game, so let's just get into the next game.
That's an interesting mentality to kind of take, especially like it's kind of different from the style of like, or I guess it actually is the same as like kind of just keeping your head in the current match and things like that. But so that's the Diddy Sheik matchup. So
Momentum is a real important factor in that matchup too.
Oh, definitely.
Like, one read can lead to another read, can lead to a kill read really easily.
For sure.
That's what leads to all those 2 songs.
Right. In that situation, you start to think about how behind you are, and then you stop thinking exactly where you need to be in the match. And I think that starts to catch up with you. And so he cut that off when he could, so he didn't get discouraged. I think.
You can't get discouraged about that either. When I know I've been outplayed and I'm gonna lose the game, you know, I'll take it. I was gonna fight it, just stress myself, you know, out even more. And then in game 2, like, he got like 70-60% on me, like, right away, and he was still at 0. But, you know, I was still confident enough to know that I was able to make the comeback, and I ended up tying the percents, and I ended up taking that game. So you can't let mentality mean so much.
Right.
Yeah.
Especially when it comes to such meticulous play. Every move makes a big difference.
And
the
then you
slightest
start doing panic options like jumping when you're near the blast zone, like what you said, like,
Influences your momentum. It can actually cause you to kill.
it increases your momentum to go out of the blast zone, and Green did that a lot in our set, which made him cause to die when he shouldn't have.
Yeah, like there was a situation where he DI'd it perfectly.
Said
You know,
I
he was like
have
at the edge of the blast zone, he was survived. But he jumps up.
I think it's just mostly in this lightweight. Just like I would barely drift. I would like it would just like clip the blast
That's
zone.
why when you're near the blast zone, don't jump.
Yeah, I never jump near blast zone because I know about it.
You know, from Brawl.
Yeah.
Like everyone learned that from Brawl.
But all right. So
It was just a bad habit, panic option. It just got the best of Green during our set.
definitely. So let's move on to another matchup here. So that's the Diddy versus Sheik matchup. Obviously, we're going to see that matchup a lot. I mean, there's going to be a lot of Diddy players. There's going to be less Sheik players, but I'd wager that there's still going to be quite a few. But let's talk about one that probably not a lot of people are used to, is Villager. Is there anyone that you think in the top kind of group there that's going to give a Villager a lot of trouble?
I thought that Villager, early on in the Life of Smash 4, people theory-crafted that Villager Diddy might be a counter pick. Just because Villager can take away the banana. But in reality, I think that matchup is, again, it's very similar to Diddy Altmar. It's just about setting up the wall. It's about making sure he doesn't get in through the wall. But either player can make that break and just start that offense. Or, I mean, the Diddy player can start the offense through the Villager. Villager Sheik, I want to say that's a hard matchup for Villager. I want to say that is.
I could probably agree with that.
Sheik can get in a lot easier than Diddy can, even though Diddy can get in pretty easy.
And then something interesting about that matchup to keep in mind is that Lloyd Rocket doesn't have a hitbox the second it comes out, so she can actually punish that with Bouncing Fish. Like, she can punish the Lloyd Rocket pull at mid-range.
It's like the first Link matchup.
Yeah. So Sheik's Bouncing Fish becomes such a good mid-range option against those projectile-based characters. And then Dicey, you have a lot of experience with Villager, using Villager for 2v2. Is there anyone in that top, like Mario or Luigi, that you think is going to give Villager a lot of difficulty?
What did he say?
Let me see.
He thinks Villager.
Mario's actually pretty decent against Villager.
You think it's slightly in Mario's favor?
Yeah, like pretty much deletes the Lloyd Rocket zoning. Like I played against what do you call it? What's his name?
JT?
JT. Yeah, we played against him in doubles, and I got a little taste of that matchup. You know, I put him in the trash can, but Mario does have the tools to deal with Villager, especially in 1v1. Thank you so much. Especially in 1v1, like yeah, he definitely has the matchup.
Interesting.
Oh, Palutena is the
Perfect Villager.
Oh no,
I
let's
don't care
not.
what anyone says.
Holy.
We'll talk about Palutena versus Villager when Palutena versus Villager happens.
Yeah, I agree.
Make it happen, please.
So,
Customs blocks. Okay.
I would love to see a Palutena Villager matchup at E2C 12.
No, it's the most one-sided match.
I know, it's hilarious. But I think it would give Palutena a little more respect than she has right now with Customs off. I think she's still a solid character, but Customs on definitely turns into a different beast. But so that's the Villager matchup.
I want to talk a little bit about Mario. We kind of started to breach that ground.
That's where I was actually just about to go.
Yeah. Mario, we actually have a pretty stable Mario meta here in Chicago.
I mean, we have
With
JT
JT
Wild.
and Bo
Yeah.
repping the character. Do you guys think that Mario has any decent matchups against the top 5, say Rosalina, Ness, Diddy, Sheik, etc.?
Oh, he does just fine against Diddy, in my opinion. It's not like super one-sided.
Yeah, I think Mario Diddy could actually be pretty 50-50.
Yeah, that man has.
And
tools.
I also think that Mario Rosalina is 50-50. I think he has good enough airspeed to kind of get in on Rosalina, and he's relatively mobile. He's a relatively mobile character, and honestly, just coming in with a nair from like a 45-degree angle on Rosalina is a really good option. She doesn't have a lot.
45 with Rosalina.
Yeah, with Rosalina, her biggest problem is the 45-degree angle, and that's why Diddy does pretty well against her. That's Yoshi. I mean, anyone with like a solid, long-lasting hitbox with good aerial mobility can kind of get in on Rosalina. They're like the best she can do is clank with it or shield it.
I actually think I might like that matchup and the Luigi versus Rosalina matchup a little bit more for the Mario Brothers, just because you gotta respect those up smashes.
I actually think that Rosalina Luigi is decently handed in Rosalina's favor.
How does Luigi get in on Rosalina?
I think, yeah, Luigi, because Luigi doesn't have that aerial mobility that Mario does, and I think he has a really hard time getting in, and also all of Rosalina's smash attacks outside of a poorly spaced up smash become safe on Luigi's shield. Like,
Because of his low traction.
Yeah. If you choose a grassy stage, which increases traction, that becomes less of a problem for Luigi.
That's broken.
But I mean, not a ton, but like forward smash, if you have Luma with you, is 100% safe on Luigi's shield, as long as he doesn't like bump a ledge or something like that.
What you got there?
So that's
silly.
yeah. So I mean, with Rosalina, especially against Luigi players, and I have some experience with like some mid-level Luigi players, not much, but you can basically throw out forward smash for free. As long as they don't spot dodge, like, you just have to kind of be careful.
Would up B or down B catch that?
Keep
Is that too
scoping you
slow?
out.
That's so fast.
teabagged me at Storm's house.
Not on stream, bro.
Too late.
Sorry.
I think down B is a decent option for Luigi in that matchup, but like again, she really just has to play patiently. Like the more patient she plays, the better it is for Rosalina in that matchup.
You think Mario Rosalina might be slightly Mario's favor?
Maybe
Luigi Rosalina is handedly in Rosalina's favor.
I would say 60-40, if not maybe 65-35, Rosalina's favor. But Mario, I would say my gut says even, but I could see slightly in Rosalina. I could see slightly in either favor.
Okay.
Okay. We actually do have quite beautiful segue. We have quite a Rosalina meta here in Chicago. We have you now, Sage. We have Blind, who's a regular at Mad River. Pretty regularly getting top 3 at Mad River. We have Knight pretty regularly getting top 3 at Galloping Ghost. We're going to have all 3 of those Rosalinas meeting for the first time at E2C 12. What kind of roadblocks do you see getting into the Rosalina players' way?
So obviously, I think Diddy Kong's a bad matchup for Rosalina. Her up air is one of her best tools that she has, and if Diddy Kong reads it right, he can just air dodge and then immediately punish with his own up air. And that alone is such a huge deal for her, and it's just hard to kind of trap Diddy in the air with monkey flip as well.
Yeah, monkey flip. Like, all he has to do is just monkey flip.
Yeah, he just escapes all your up air chains. I mean, she doesn't really have the best aerial mobility. She's really floaty, so she's not really going to catch up to him. So as soon as she commits to a jump, Diddy Kong can just monkey flip away. Or if he sees that she's kind of playing aggressively with her up airs, he can air dodge into his own up air, which can lead into some early kills, especially how high a lot of Rosalina players kind of go after up airs.
Especially if counter picks the town in Diddy.
Hohen's on drugs.
Yeah.
Can we get Hobag out of here, please?
What do you,
Look how weird he is. Like, look
what
at
do you guys? What do you two? You two haven't talked in a while. You have cheesesteak and you're just always quiet.
He said a lot
What
of
do you
things.
think of Rosalina's support matchups in this Chicago meta? This is my water.
Rosalina is a scrub.
Wow.
Let me elaborate.
This is coming from my Dubs partner.
Can we talk about Salty Shane? Salty Shane got started
Rosalina
Not one.
is actually
Not two.
a very potent character because of her options with Luma. I think it forces, no matter who you are, no matter what your caliber of play, it forces you to have to worry about 2 separate characters instead of 1. Because of that, I think Rosalina is going to have an edge on most characters.
It's not even like a level of ice climbers either, because, you know, you can't just sit one ice climber over there and cover an entire area.
Yeah.
See what I mean? Like, Rosalina can actually throw her little starfish thingy, her little chocolate starfish. She just grabs him and throws him over somewhere to cover an entire area.
Covers
And, like,
the entire area.
You can smash attack
and
on
even in the callback, when she calls him back, he can hit you as well. So closing in on that separation, jumping between Rosalina and Luma does not help you necessarily, because you still have to worry about Luma coming back. But in terms of that, I think that means what people need to really focus on when they fight a Rosalina is getting rid of that Luma just for that not having to worry about 2 character.
You can't respect Luma too much either. Like, you gotta get on Rosalina as much as you can, and if you see an opportunity to get rid of Luma, take it.
Right.
But you can't.
That's like a double-edged sword sometimes.
Right.
Because you could be going to get rid of the little stupid starfish thingy, and it up smashes you.
It's just a starter.
Like, he'll up
Just a
smash you.
star.
It's like, alright,
You will up
Like,
smash
so
it.
you just
But-
gotta be aware.
I think it's so important to abuse that lightness. Yeah, it's exactly how I feel about the first Pikachu. Pikachu can combo all day. He dies at 75 to, what was the way you put it? Yoshi's Air Jordans? No, you called them Timberlands. That's what you called them.
Timberland.
Yoshi's Timberlands.
The rock ports.
Yoshi strapped on his Timberlands today. Alright, but one thing that I think one of the biggest things when overcoming a Rosalina player is getting past that mental block that Luma can put up.
Right, I totally agree.
I mean,
Totally
it is,
agree.
for a lot of players, it is super frustrating to have Luma throw out like an aerial as you like try to grab follow up.
Right, exactly.
The uppercuts.
Yeah. You go for a down throw up air as Diddy Kong and all of a sudden Luma uppercuts you out of your combo. That's a big deal.
Of all the characters that you go against that you need to really know how their character works, Rosalina's the top.
Absolutely.
If you know how her character works, it will take away so much of that concern and worry you have with her Luma. And I think once you know that, then you can feel very confident in what attacks to do and what counters to do.
And she also has a lot of like unique text to her that I think not a lot of players who don't play Rosalina know. I mean, she has like double like air hitboxes that she can throw up getting off the ledge. She has like lunar landings and interesting like roll boosted aerials and stuff like that. So there's a lot of interesting tech that not a lot of people like kind of see with her, so that the second it comes out and all of a sudden it hits them, they like kind of freak out and it really taxes them mentally in a match. And then as that builds up throughout stocks, it just becomes harder and harder for them to deal with it. So really the biggest thing with playing Rosalina is just keeping calm mentally and understanding that yes, Luma just whacked you out of your combo, but it did 4%.
Yeah.
It's not a lot. She doesn't build percent very quickly without like a lot of up air chains or things like that.
Luma won't kill very much on her own.
No,
It's the knockback.
it's the knockback is relatively good. I think one of Luma's like highest percentages is like 7 or 8%. But like with like forward air and stuff like that, it's like 2-3%.
It's just the knockback on Luma is additive when she's also being hit. When you're also hitting with Rosalina.
Yeah.
Although when you do hit like with both moves, like with Luma's move and Rosalina's,
It taxes.
like I got hit with an F smash for like 20 something, I think.
It's
it's additive,
F smash with Rosalina
Yeah.
uncharged is about 17%. I think.
Yeah, and you like whack me with Luma too, and I'm like how to take this much percent?
We've got a chat request from, if you guys don't mind
Absolutely.
segueing to a different topic. We got a chat request from our good friend Zav. He's a Mad River regular.
Zero Suit
He saw me drink off my ass on Thursday. That was ugly.
Many did.
Many did.
What is he interested in?
He's asking about Zero Suit Samus players.
She's broken.
I think Zav might be our only ZSS in the Chicago area.
There's also Hydra,
Hydra?
but he doesn't place as well as what XAV does. So, but XAV, if you're looking for a Zero Suit player, he's definitely the one to go to here in Chicago, at least.
Let's talk a little bit about ZSS. We'll do some of Zav's homework for him. What kind of matchups are you looking out for ZSS?
So first off, I mean, obviously being a Rosalina player, I can kind of comment on that pretty well.
Shout it out in the chat.
So I think Rosalina wins that matchup versus Zero Suit Samus personally. I think as long as you play pretty cautiously with Rosalina, it's hard for Zero Suit to kind of get in. She doesn't have a lot of safe options. One of her best options, honestly, against Rosalina Luma is dash attack. Like if you start dash attack right as at Rosalina's like shield, you can kind of knock Luma away and take advantage of the couple seconds that Luma's falling down. And dash attack at the beginning, at the no character lengths away from a shield, is relatively safe for Zero Suit. It's hard to punish that for most characters, and Rosalina can. It's too far.
I don't know if I agree how safe ZSS's dash attack is.
If you start it
very safe, isn't it?
If Yoshi can punish it with the pivot grab, anyone can punish it with the pivot grab.
He has a tongue though.
Can you punish it with a pivot grab? I didn't think you could.
If he dashes past you,
I thought if you started the dash attack at the right as you came into contact with your opponent, you dashed far enough through their shield that
then Yoshi might be the only one who can punish that with the pivot grab.
Yeah, you might be.
But usually when I see it, he doesn't. When I've played Zav, he doesn't dash in your face.
Yeah, you have to start the dash attack for it to be safe. Similar to Meta Knights, Meta Knights is also safe in that if you start it at the point where you come into contact with their shield, so the dash attack starts right at your opponent's shield, you'll actually cross through their shield, and it's relatively safe for against a lot of characters.
You'd have to. It's a hard.
I mean, the best option against Meta Knight's dash attack is a jump out of shield option into a back air or something.
I'm sorry, like this little back here.
Oh, sorry.
They were doing.
What's going on?
But anyways, continuing. So the dash attack for Meta Knight becomes pretty safe for that, and a back air out of shield for a lot of characters won't hit him just due to his height. And Zero Suit Samus too, she gets a lot of distance out of that, and I'm not sure. I think Yoshi might also have that safeness on against some characters. You have to be sure to space it properly and start the dash attack at the shield though.
I'll have to try that. Any other tricky matchups for ZSS?
How do you feel about ZSS and Sheik?
Sheik wins, absolutely wins.
Absolutely wins.
Just because crouching cancels a lot.
That is a good point.
Yeah, explain to me what you're explaining.
I was showing XAV at Expose You how busted the matchup is. I literally just ducked under everything and she couldn't touch me. Really, if I duck, all she has is dash attack, which is highly predictable. Down smash, which it takes a little startups and I can shield quickly enough. Grab, But you gotta get it at just the angle to get the grab, and it's almost very hard to pull off. And down tilt.
Wow.
And
maybe neutral air.
And forward air works, or forward tilt works if you angle it down.
Yeah, angle it down. But for the
what aspects of Zero Suit's game give you more trouble? Are there anything?
Well, since Sheik is such a rushdown character, just hitting Zero Suit Shield, and that's like a free upbeat for Rosalina, basically. But that's what
For Zero Suit, not Rosalina. Rosalina's
that's what
upbeat.
I have to be aware of, and I feel like I am for the most part. Unless like I'm in the lead and I can get away with it as much as I want to.
Coming from me, brawler.
No.
But versus Sheik wins.
Okay.
So
So
comes out on
Sheik is a very difficult matchup for Zero Suit Samus, according to Akira, and I can agree with that. Crouching is such a strong option for Sheik. She gets so low to the ground. Kal-El, you got anything to kind of comment on that, on the Zero Suit Samus matchups? I mean, obviously.
In terms of Zero Suit Samus, I've played against Zero Suit Samus. In terms of the Link matchup, I can give a little bit of information. I think I've talked to XAV about it before, but playing with that what is it, the down B? Is it the down B that does that little
the flip jump?
Right,
Yes,
the flip
yes.
jump. That's good at mixing up, kind of, and kind of putting pressure on without being in too much danger. It does become a little easier to read when you do it. It's easy to shield, but still hard to punish. So that's something to really play with to kind of bait your opponent into doing different things. But
You can't get predictable with it though.
right, it can become really predictable if you do it too often.
One of Zero Suit Samus's biggest problems is just that she can fall into this really predictable pattern. I mean, she doesn't have a ton of good approach options. You see a lot of Zero Suit Samus just basically charge Paralyzer and then run in and try and land falling neutral air or something like that. But do you think projectiles give Zero Suit Samus a lot of trouble?
Actually,
Because of her
reflectors actually do. Because I saw the match against JT Wild and XAV, and what XAV would do was charge his Paralyzer shot, and you know it's coming, so Mario, JT Wild, capes it and gets a free punish.
Free anything.
Free anything. And he actually stunned Zero Suit, ran past her, and up smashed. It's so easy to do.
So basically, as a Zero Suit Samus player, if you're playing against a character with a reflector, pretty much you don't want to touch that neutral B button.
Yeah, I think the only character that can get away with the easiest is Mario and Doc, just because they reflected so quickly and they can actually do stuff.
I think Falco probably gets pretty good mileage out of his reflector in that
Other
matchup
than that,
too.
it's a really solid move, right? The Paralyzer shot.
Yeah, I mean, in matchups against characters that don't have a reflector, especially against really rushdown based characters, it can give you a nice little spacing tool.
Oh, in terms.
Versus Yoshi, if you see him charging it, you can basically angle yourself to get a free egg into follow-up. So you basically you can't be too predictable with it.
Yeah, definitely.
It's strong if it lands. Sometimes down smash is better.
Oh, so for Sheik, does your bouncy fish go right over it and hit him?
Over what?
Over the paralyzing shot?
Yeah.
So keep that in mind for the Sheik matchup. Whenever you do that, which is a really predictable move.
If I see him charging, it's a free bouncing fish for me.
So yeah, according to
bouncing
Akira,
fish from the charge.
yeah. So overall, neutral B probably the biggest pitfall for I think a lot of mid-level to high-level Zero Suit Samus players. I think they get a little overly reliant on it, and then as soon as a character comes along that can punish it or do good things with it,
if they're trying to space them out, just shoot B, don't charge it.
Yeah,
Charging it puts you so vulnerable.
Yeah, I think a little.
You know the shot is coming if you charge it. Just pushing B is a lot more effective than that.
What if she can cancel it like regular Samus? Oh my, she'd be so good, dude.
What ifs?
Sakurai, please. That might be a custom move. I don't know.
No, I don't think her custom moves for neutral B are pretty interesting, but none of them give her that option. But something that's pretty interesting too with Zero Suit Samus is again Paralyzer is a really good option to just force shields against characters without reflectors though, and so it's a really good option. I'd say it's probably a pretty solid option against Little Mac. I think if you're running into a Little Mac, just an uncharged neutral B shot can be really disruptive to his game.
Yeah, and in a matchup that we'll actually see. Actually, that's a lie. Talking about our separate metas, there are actually a lot of Little Mac players that go to Galloping Ghost. So that's completely relevant to that. But in a matchup that's a little bit more common, ZSS versus Captain Falcon, an uncharged standard B is going to be just an incredibly vital tool.
Yeah, and I actually think it's a pretty useful tool against Rosalina as well. She's not fast enough to really punish it, on reaction. So, and for a weird reason, it stuns Luma. An uncharged paralyzer shot stuns Luma for a really long time. Like a good couple seconds. He's like unable to do anything. Like for some reason the star and electricity just don't match. So there's some interesting uses for it, definitely. But overall, your better options for Zero Suit are probably spacing back air, spacing nair. I know her neutral air falling can actually lead into grabs if you connect with it at low percentages.
Yes, neutral air is very. I think might be a sour spot on it that leads to grab. Kind of like Yoshi has like a really strange sour spot. If you like, is it like a sex kick?
No, it's not. It's the one where she like whips around herself.
Oh, okay.
So it's if you at low percentages, I think probably up to 20-30%, you can actually neutral air into running into like dash grab, and it'll connect. It actually sends you at about like a almost perfectly like flat angle at low percentages.
Mm-hmm.
So that's an interesting combo option for her because she gets so much out of her down throw.
Yeah, for sure.
All right. So is there any other matchups you guys really want to talk about? Let's talk about Luigi. I think
we should talk about Luigi.
Considering Boss might be around.
Yeah, and Shell's gonna be there. Shell is not a joke. Green's Luigi is apparently taking games off Shell's Luigi.
Look at him.
So
Look at.
that's not a joke.
I caught him looking.
Hadley's friend, he's a Sonic
Let's not talk
player.
about Hadley. Fuck Hadley.
Oh, he's still salty.
That's the guy who back threw me off the freaking Smashville platform at 41% and took me out of the tournament.
Rip.
I'm sad.
I
So then I
Said
took his
that.
salty dollar in a money match. So
He's actually said that Green has the better Luigi than Shell on the Facebook chat.
Wow. So I think we'll do two more matchup discussions, and then we'll let the chat kind of decide our last little topic. But let's talk about Sonic and let's talk about Luigi. I think those are two characters here. Luigi gets some showing in the Chicago meta here, but Sonic really doesn't.
well, we have J-Brock.
J-Brock being really the only Sonic player I know
He
of.
just hasn't been showing up a lot, or if he just hasn't been putting up as good results. I know he was as disappointed with his results at Expose You as I was.
He's going Falcon, from what I've seen.
He's thinking of doing a switch.
Switching the Falcon?
Yeah.
Because in my opinion, Sonic could be argued for top 5 in the game. I mean, he's a character that pretty much for a lot of the cast he invalidates the neutral. Like he just kind of whatever he's gonna run in and either dash attack or dash grab plays
Let's
a 50-50
talk about
with
Sonic, okay?
Lord Stir has this little salt towards Sonic.
If he reads me throwing an egg, he can dash under it and then just forward smash me. That's
throw the egg then.
That's
A
a
pivot
thing.
forward smash?
I can't throw eggs in that matchup. No, not even. He doesn't run past me and pivot. He just runs right up to me.
Platform
Ow!
next to you.
Pivot and just forward smash.
Throw him off a platform.
I can't throw eggs on the ground. It's
can't,
really
this man.
silly. Anyway,
Just make it rain.
So yeah, I mean Sonic is a character that basically invalidates options for some characters. Yoshi's eggs.
Who the hell is bloody tampons? Who the hell is bloody tampons? Body us, please.
he's an Ohio scrub.
I'm sorry, what?
Oh, Ohio stuff. Body us with Greninja, please. Challenge
we got-
accepted.
We got some trash talk coming in from Ohio. All right, so Sonic. Are there any characters you think give Sonic a lot of trouble?
He has such a good time getting in.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think characters with walls, like, I imagine he has a good matchup versus Link. I imagine he has a good matchup versus Villager. Rosalina, I don't know.
I personally think it's slightly in Rosalina's favor, simply because her jab is such a strong option to wall him out. He has a hard time kind of approaching that. He doesn't.
In, like,
How about Akiro? Anything that you have on the opinion of Sonic? I don't know what your Sonic experience is.
God, I just want to read the stream chat. This man.
Really, I
It's
just
because I'm brown. It's because I'm brown.
Dicey, the stream. You can check it right here.
really I just have J-Brock to rely on with Sonic experience.
we have...
But at Apex, like I did go 2-1 with 6WX.
Okay.
And then I got janked by Halberd, but I'm not salty, but I should have banned Halberd. I just should have banned Halberd.
He loves Halberd.
His up smash. Sonic's
was
up
down.
smash will kill you quickly.
I was down
And he's up there.
100% in our last stock, and he was at 0, and I ended up winning game 2.
Impressive. And I mean, 6WX is probably the Sonic player to watch out for right now. So you have experience with the Sonic.
Close to taking him out.
So yeah, I mean,
What do
obviously.
you think of that matchup, though, on, like, an even stage?
Uneven stages?
Yeah, like let's assume like FD or Battlefield or something like that,
Or Smashville.
or Smashville.
Whatever.
To be honest, I think it's even with Sheik. I'll even go up to say it's more in Sonic's favor, just because of how. I don't know. It's a tricky matchup.
It's rare for someone to be faster than Sheik.
Yeah, I do think though that in my opinion, I mean obviously this is a lot of theory craft here. I'm not a Sheik player, but I think Sheik has a really good option against Sonic with needles, and that can really like make Sonic respect neutral, whereas he kind of ignores it against some characters.
Oh yeah, I know Needles would wreck Hadley's Sonic, like. Not, I'm talking like the same kind of thing as ZSS, which is not charge him, just throw out like 2.
Yeah. Anyone who can throw out a really fast projectile, and obviously Needles are not really, I mean, they're super fast. I don't know the exact frame data.
With Sonic?
No, the Needles against Sonic.
Yeah, those are really good.
I think that's probably one of her best options against that matchup. I mean, it cancels spin dash. I think it might even hit him out of it if you have it even slightly charged. So that's a super good, that's probably one of her best tools to use against Sonic.
You know what's interesting? Okay, you guys are gonna flame me, but I actually think that the Sonic Bowser matchup's in Bowser's favor.
Really?
Like 6-4.
That one I would not have guessed.
Wait, what?
Sonic Bowser's in Bowser's favor.
Lord Sturm says Bowser beats Sonic.
Up smash actually beats out spin dash stuff.
Oh, okay. Tell me
Really?
If you time it right. Like
And I guess you could
homing
up B
attack
like out
and
of shield and up B to like kind of beat out his dashes.
up B beats really
Everything.
roll spammy Sonic, which is a lot of them.
Damn, everyone left.
Bowser has a lot of tools actually versus Sonic's Rushdown.
And Flame Breath too. is a
Flame
good
Breath.
one.
Flame Breath. There's so much end lag on it though.
Yeah.
That's the only deal. All right, I think
All right, ladies and gentlemen. So I think we're getting close to wrapping up.
we've
this.
been going for a while.
Yeah, we're getting close to wrapping up this podcast here. So I'd like to open it up real quick. Any questions that the chat might have, hit us up right now. We have the chat kind of going up in an image right now. So is there anything you guys would like to hear us talk about? And while we wait for the chat to kind of give us some information, let's talk real quick about Luigi.
Damn streams.
J-Brock agrees with me, by the way, on the Sonic Bowser.
Wow.
So, just saying. Talk about Luigi.
Obviously, I already said that Rosalina, I think, beats Luigi pretty hard. I think that's a really good. I mean, it's not like it's so bad that you should play Rosalina against every Luigi player. And like, obviously, she's a hard character to play. She's got a lot of intricate like details to her. But I think that Rosalina has a good matchup against Luigi. I honestly think anyone with a good projectile wall does well against Luigi. I think Link is probably a positive matchup against Luigi.
Link?
I think. Kal-El, how do you feel about Link Luigi?
Dicey just blocked.
Okay, no. On a very serious note, I think a Link Luigi battle requires Link to be much more patient and much more spacey with his game. All of Luigi's his air game all comes out a lot quicker. His neutral air comes out a lot quicker than Link's. He cannot out-time and beat him based on speed. So when you're someone that plays against Luigi as a Link, you need to you take advantage of your boomerangs, take advantage of your bombs, take advantage of your arrows, but make sure you try to create space and wait for those openings. That's really the only way I think you can beat Luigi in that match.
Also, you should forward tilt like ever.
I think also against Luigi, one of the biggest things you have to keep track of.
When you guys are done with Luigi, we got matches.
Okay, cool. All right. So the biggest thing I think with Luigi, and this will be the last thing we bring up, is I think something important is stage control versus him. More so than a lot of characters. He has such a hard time getting in for the most part, but his combos are so strong. I think that just taking stage control against him is super important. So anytime you have the option, you might want to send Luigi off the stage just to take that stage control to kind of give you that space to back up and throw projectiles or back up and kind of avoid his neutral game or avoid him trying to get in for whatever you can.
Yeah.
And then...
Okay, sorry, did I interrupt you?
No, that's okay. Continue.
This is the part of the show where you guys help me be better. People keep telling me that Yoshi wins versus Luigi, and I want to know what you think might be that reasoning, because I struggle with it.
So in my opinion, and I think it's something that I don't see you throw out a lot, he has a lot of drift when he throws eggs. So you can kind of like drift backwards and throw eggs, and I think that's such a good option against Luigi. And like you don't have to like full charge your eggs. You can throw them so they barely like arc. And I think just a varied arc of eggs as you kind of move forward and back throwing them, as well as like a couple on the ground, can just give Luigi hell trying to get in. And then the second he gets in, if you can like send him away with a nair or a forward throw, now he has to reset that whole thing. I mean, he has to go through that struggle again. So I could see it being slightly in Yoshi's favor.
Okay.
Who is bloody
Good thoughts.
All right, so stream. What questions? What do we got so far from the stream?
The first one was
We're gonna do a couple
real
questions
quick.
from the stream.
we're gonna do a quick stream thing, then we're gonna do shout outs, then we're gonna wrap it up. So Greninja vs Sheik was the first request. I'm deferring to you.
Right take, Hero.
Greninja versus Sheik.
Yes.
I can't even comment on it because the only Greninja I played was Tai, and to be honest,
Shout outs to Ty.
Ty's a great kid, but he's not at that level where he produces much of a challenge to anybody.
Right.
So I really can't really comment on it. Like I finally know like some of the habits he has, but then I've seen like other Greninja players do it. So I'm like, okay, so I know what to expect when they're coming back onto the stage. They're gonna shadow sneak me and try and kill me.
Yeah.
I gotta look out for the stage, to watch the shadows to make sure it doesn't get behind me. It's a lot more of awareness more than anything playing Greninja, especially with that shadow sneak. It's really
Alright,
tricky.
what was your friend's tag today?
Bull. B-O-L.
Bull was my first round opponent. He played very good Greninja. Maybe we could study that more in the future.
Yeah, he's a relatively new player. He just started competing in Smash 4 about 2 weeks ago, and he was kind of on a main search when the game first came out, and I think he finally settled with Greninja. So we'll see if maybe we can kind of get a Chicago Greninja player out there a
He
little
played
bit.
at a higher level than Ty, so maybe you can learn something from him.
But all right, so Pure Theory Craft. Who do you what do you think about the matchup?
Number.
I would just throw something out there. Like,
Yeah.
I'd say
yeah.
it's 60-40 in Sheik's favor.
Alright, we got
That's like with like little to no.
Yeah,
knowledge.
obviously,
Right, little
stream,
to no.
that's full Theory Craft right there. I mean,
He's played one Greninja, and it was a very unfair or not necessarily a very close battle. So let's not take that with
Now,
the
last question from the stream.
Last
Team
question.
Knight or Team Sage?
Team Knight or Team Sage? I'm gonna say right now for anyone watching, the folks at home, I will at E2C 12. Hopefully Knight attends. If he doesn't, then obviously my point is moot. But I will put $20 on Sage taking that matchup. Easy.
mirror.
I'll put $20, not as a teammate, but because of someone.
Mirror match or
A mirror-
how well they play.
Mirror match.
If they
I'm
meet
sorry,
in
I'm
bracket.
talking mirror match. No, not if they meet in bracket. If they meet in bracket, that one will be the one that decides. But ultimately, I will pay $20 to the winner of that match if they play a friendly or if they play in bracket.
That's not how betting.
I mean, that's not what I mean. You're right. I will put $20 on Sage. If someone wants to take that bet, I am more than welcome to. I am more than happy to do so. So bring it. I really think Sage has such a
Knight
solid
lost to a guy
Rosalina.
named Dan today. Luigi Mario that only goes to GGA.
Knight, huh?
Knight
Yeah,
is
see,
confirmed for.
Knight, I gotta say really quickly, he is confirmed, so that means this bet is on for anyone who wants to take it.
And Sage also beat Nubs, and he places really high at Galloping Ghost as well. Sage also beat Nubs at Konoha.
If I had beaten Hadley, I would have gotten to play Nubs. That would have been fun. But I'm on Team Sage. I've known you for a week. There you go. Hero.
Originally, I was in favor of Knight, but after watching Sage play, and seeing how well he's been doing, I'm more in the favor now towards Sage now. Not just because he's here right in front of me now, but
no.
I openly admitted to Green Beast that I think Knight was the better Rosalina. But
$40 on Sage by Bloody Tampon.
after seeing Sage and how he's playing, and I actually got to play the guy,
Yeah, today was the first day that Akira and I met in bracket.
yeah, and he took a game off me, and I hate that matchup so much.
You and me both.
Yeah.
Okay, I think.
But I'll go in
three
favor and
sides.
say Team Sage.
Looks like we're all on Team Sage here today. This is a great first episode.
I agree.
I think it went really well.
Stream, if you guys have any comments about our first episode, any things you'd like to hear us talk about kind of in the future, any players you'd like us to see bring on, we'll try and do that for you. We're obviously going to be improving the quality of the stream, the quality of the podcast throughout. This is going to be a recurring thing. We're going to be doing every Sunday night at 9 p.m. We're going to have this stream pop up. Or if Stadium runs a little late, we'll have it run as soon as Grand Finals is over. Other than that, We're also going to be doing some Skype calls here and there, maybe get some top players from maybe like the East Coast, West Coast, Texas area to see if they want to come on and kind of talk about Smash 4 with us. So anyone who's interested, JJ Rockets, we'd love to have you. I know you're probably still in the chat. We're also going to probably try and do an episode at the end of E2C 12. So if anyone wants to kind of hop on with us, we're going to have a nice big panel, kind of rotate some players in and out, maybe do some like 10-minute like sections in between like doubles and in between top 8 and top 16 and stuff like that. So we'll be doing this all the time. This, ladies and gentlemen, is Smash Talk presented by E2C.
Before we sign off, remember, this is gonna be a VOD on youtube.com/events2compete. We're gonna try to get some interviews, I think, also for the channel from E2C12 if they won't be a part of the thing, a part of the podcast afterwards. Let's just do a real quick rundown of shout-outs where you can find us on the internet. I am at Game Music Theory on Twitter. That's really it.
Alright, you can find me on Twitter. I am Shytown_Sage. You guys, Twitter handles, anything like that?
Don't follow me anywhere except on E2C. Just keep up with the events to complete, please.
Yeah, what Shane said.
So
At Events to Compete.
At Events to Compete. So big shout outs to Events to Compete. They're the reason that a lot of the Smash 4 meta is where it is right now in Chicago. They're putting on a ton of tournaments. We're doing this podcast through Events to Compete. They're helping us out with everything. Obviously, myself and Kal-El have been working a lot with Joe Bones, who's the head guy of Events to Compete. So shout outs to Joe Bones especially. He's been an awesome TO, and he's been really helpful for the Chicago scene.
Yeah.
And we're also going to be moving into some streams elsewhere. We have been talking to Cody or someone from Iowa about getting into contact with Cody Perko and moving into some streams there. So
The man, the myth.
the legend. All right, so ladies and gentlemen, my name is Sage. This is Akiro. We have Kal-El and of course Lord Sturm joining us. We're gonna have a podcast every week for you at 9 p.m. So I hope you enjoyed the show. This is Smash Talk presented by Events to Compete. Good night.
Good night. Good night, guys. Let's go play some Smash.